And just know where your stuff comes from. Care, don't ever settle.
You know, the large grocery stores and the way we've been eating for the past 30 years or 40 years, you know, that disconnect between what you're actually eating and what's in a box, I think is kind of a negative approach.
You have to opt into a system that's better if you want to save animals from torture.
See the benefits of having your own food and knowing where it comes from, especially today when so many things are, or animals are, you know, injected with hormones and other things that you don't really know.
It's wonderful to see that everybody's getting interested in being healthy.
So in 2006, we started looking for property, and Christian had always had this joke that when he retired, he was going to have a goat farm. So that's kind of where we started. And I'd be in my office at my miserable marketing job, looking at har.com at farms online, and I would send them to Christian. And then, I don't know, then we bought a farm. Actually, in between, what's funny is, and this is a very crucial step I've missed, he kept making these jokes about having a goat farm, having a goat farm, having a goat farm. So I thought I would buy him a class on goat farming, and I bought it through Leisure Learning in Houston. And I thought, well, this will put an end to it. He'll take the class and he'll realize, I don't want a goat farm, that's crazy talk. So we took the class together, and the first class was kind of classroom class, and it was boring, and we thought, nah. In the second class, we went to the goat farm, and his initial impression was, oh, it's so dirty and awful. No, I don't want to do this. And I walked away going, goats, goats, goats. So that's when we started kind of looking at properties online. And within, I think we took the class, was a class for his birthday in July, and by October, we had bought this farm.
Yeah, I think Wendell Berry said, you know, it's an amazing superstition that people believe every single time they can go and trade money for food. You know, that seems to me to be, that is a superstition. There's so many things involved beyond you giving $1 at a grocery store and getting something to eat that nobody thinks about, how tenuous and fragile those connections are. And, you know, we're the most wealthy, powerful nation on earth. We should be doing this better.
Yeah, I mean, 2% of Americans are farmers now. I hope that eventually people look at this in the archive and they're like, really? In 2012, only 2% of the people grew all the food? I hope that just shocks and appalls people, because by then more people are growing the food.
It's an idea that started rolling around in my head in about 2008. I was delivering a lot of pork to restaurants here in Houston, New Orleans, Austin, San Antonio, and we were also selling at the farmers market. And at that point, it was very difficult to take a whole pig and get everything done to that pig in the processing part that I needed to get done and that I wanted to get done, and that could do it very well. It's like all butchers and processors are not created equally. Some care more about what they do than others. And I was spending a lot of time driving around Texas from one processor to get the pigs killed, to another processor to get sausage made, to another processor to get bacon made. I couldn't do it all at one place, which was really frustrating. I was spending a lot of time and money getting all these things done at separate places. I had to get it done, just nobody could do everything. So it started out as kind of a romantic idea of saying, all right, well, how awesome would it be if we could just do this all under one roof? Maybe we do it ourselves. So one of my good customers at the time was my now business partner, Ryan Pera. He was a chef at the Grove. He was buying a lot of product from us. We had continually been talking about all these issues that we had had with getting things butchered and processed the way we wanted it done. we had started kicking around the idea of doing our own butcher shop. So he was looking to move on and become his own boss, and definitely saw that entrepreneurial spirit in him. So we decided to pull the trigger and throw together a business plan and see what we could do as far as the shop goes.
I took a trip to Italy on my sophomore year at University of North Carolina, lived there for a year, really realized the style in which they ate was, they really ate what was around them, what they grew, what they, you know, all the artisanal products. And I really felt that that was a much healthier, better lifestyle for people on the economic side and for personal benefits. So I really believe that was the right thing, and when I did eventually become a chef years later, I really felt it's what I had to do, is support that type of thinking, that type of environment, and do the best that I could to make it happen.
And you know, I don't know why, I can't answer why every person thinks it's or finds it important. I think some people find environmental reasons, or some people find economic reasons. I mean, the idea of keeping your money in the state is an attractive idea to me, and probably to a lot of other people. I like knowing where it comes from, because then I've seen the cow that I probably, you know, ate in one of my burgers like a couple of days ago, which is just nice, you know. And there's so much mystery still. I mean, even though like the local foods movement and the farm to table movement has like really taken off over the last few years, like most people have no idea where their food comes from, like no idea. And I mean, we all have varying levels of comfort or discomfort with that, but to me it's nice to know. I mean, like it's what we put into our bodies is really important, right? I mean, like, you know, if you eat like crap, you're gonna kind of like look and feel like crap, and I think it's important to try to be like aware of what you're eating. I mean, yeah. And I think a lot of people feel that way, and like I said, I mean, really at the end of the day, because we have the opportunity to like meet awesome people who are really excited about what they do, like that makes my life better and makes my job better, and that's one of the like main reasons why I do it.
I mean, I think there are a lot of different reasons why people are interested in local foods, and I actually tend, the reasons for me are sort of more personal and value-based than health or environmentally based. I mean, I think it's nice that local products don't have the same. I think a lot of people like local products because they feel like they don't want to be eating, you know, chemicals or hormones. You know, I think a lot of people like the sort of ideas that it's an environmentally solid choice, but personally, you know, those to me are sort of side benefits to the real reason, which is that like I like to buy stuff from people I know, and I like to support people I know, and I like to see, you know, I like to see the work that I'm doing going to support people who I like.
Our mission is to provide local produce from local vendors to the population of the Woodlands and surrounding areas. We are very strict about who we take. Each vendor is visited to make sure that they actually are growing the produce or making the products that they're bringing to this market.
Well, we're not a big commercial farm, so we don't use a lot of heavy pesticides and fertilizers. We compost our fields and rotate the crops to let Mother Nature cover as much as they can.
I think food is in many families is a very important part of your time spent together, your communications, time spent with family, extended family, friends. My parents also were canning, and we had chickens for a while and had our own eggs. And as a kid, sometimes that gets annoying, but it actually stays with you as an adult. You see the benefits of having your own food and knowing where it comes from, especially today when so many things or animals are, injected with hormones and other things that you don't really know where the food is coming from. So.
I always try and support the local vendors, first of all, and I look for produce that I can get. It doesn't have to be certified organic, but I prefer farmers who don't spray a lot so that I can get really good quality produce.
It's nice to know that it's coming from people that take care of their crops and care about pesticides and that kind of thing that can be harmful to your body. We're really sensitive especially my skin's pretty sensitive to whatever I put on it, and so it's definitely better to come here and have these foods just because it hasn't ever been harmful, and it's never had a reaction for me. So yeah.
About 4 or 5 months ago, I had a cancer diagnosis, and I stopped eating all animal products and stopped eating sugar and artificial sweeteners and caffeine, and turned to lots of fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and sprouts, and that's what I do now. So far I have released 31 pounds as of this morning, and I'm doing lots of juicing. This has kale and Swiss chard and black grapes and apples and zucchini and all kinds of stuff in it. And it might not look real appetizing, but it's really quite sweet and delicious. So my life has changed a lot. Yeah.
I just wish everyone would support their local farmers markets.
There's farmers markets all over town.
I like to buy stuff from people I know, and I like to support people I know.
I just don't understand why people don't do this all the time. Don't do exactly what we're doing. Do anything less than your best. And to me, this is us doing our best.
The primary reason it's important to know where your food comes from is to know that you're not being poisoned.
What have you just paid for? It's just sad, and it's because we don't care. If I can just say one thing, if we could just care more about what we eat and settle for less, we'd be in a lot better position.
I'm thinking it's a sign, but the freckles